I remember when I was about in year 4, and there was a boy I liked called Frankie, and I shouldn't have said that. He's not gonna watch it anyway. Yeah, and he looked, and I hadn't had my legs, like nothing done. I was only in year 4, maybe year 5, like, do you know what I mean? But I was hairy for like in comparison to some of the other girls, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you need a shave."
Oh, I think you told me this before.
See, it affected me.
What a dickhead. Hi guys, and welcome to the Tried It podcast, where we'll be discussing all things from millennial struggles to relationships and love and everything in between. I'm Kadisha.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Maya.
I'm back.
She's back.
That scared me.
Gang.
Tell her friend.
I'm back, guys.
We missed you
Aww.
last episode.
I did actually miss being here. I felt like
I can imagine your FOMO must have been through the roof.
My FOMO was extreme. Like I was literally like watching. Like, okay, I'd be wrapping up now. I'd be saying what would my outro have been? Like I was literally sat at home like a punished child. It's not nice. But yeah, I'm back this week. I'm not feeling 100, but we move, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic that you couldn't make it based on the topic.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we were
Isn't
saying.
it? Literally. And I was saying to Maya and Jade that when I was listening back, because obviously I still edit, I was like, I didn't even notice I wasn't there. Like it just flowed so well. And like the conversation just like was so interesting. Like normally when I'm editing, I'm like, I remember when that was said. Like when I was editing, I feel like I was there still. So it was really nice. It was really good, and it was a good episode. Thank you very much. Well done, girls. And thank you to our guest, Talani, as well.
Yeah,
and thank you
was
to
really
our
sweet.
listeners for receiving it so well.
Yes, thank you. I know you missed me.
Okay.
And this is another pick and mix episode.
Yeah.
I
Back with the
love
pick
a
and
pick
mix.
and mix. We haven't done one
Yeah.
in ages.
It does
Yeah.
feel like did we miss one?
We did it, tried it times 1, and that delayed a pick and mix.
All right.
And then we had a guest on. Yeah, we did two other episodes.
Yeah, because Ish was on the last pick and mix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Pesky guest. Keep
Yeah.
hijacking our show.
Yeah. So yeah,
Joking.
it's back to just the 3 of us with
Don't
a pick
do
and
it.
mix.
We're going to do it.
No. What you gonna do?
Just the...
Oh no. Yeah, who wants to go first?
I feel like I have quite a good one.
You go.
Go on.
Okay, so I was watching the chat back.
Back
Back
chat.
chat. Oh my
Shit,
God. So
I
much
thought I got it
confidence.
right. I was so impressed.
Did you see her
I
confidence?
literally said that to Jade.
Do you know what's
15
so
minutes
funny
ago.
as
I
well?
thought, yeah, I got it now.
Just as a spoiler, we're going to be releasing an outtake little video of all the outtakes that we've done. And in one of that, there's bare outtakes of
Oh,
Jade.
me, like,
and
saying
she's
the-
like, yeah, so... What was it called again? And you're like, oh my God. And we're like, Jade. And she's like, yeah. And we're like, no. It's like, and it's just like,
my
Jade.
Look, the enthusiasm's there. That's all that matters, okay?
True.
Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's the
Back chat.
back chat. I don't think it's a podcast. I think it was just like a
No,
YouTube
it's-
like series.
Yeah, it's usually serious.
And yeah, they were talking about getting the Brazilian butt lift and stuff like that. And they kind of touched on this, but this is kind of more specific. And I just think do our insecurities stem from like there
What we
being
see.
another sex? Like would we, or like is it because we're trying to impress someone? Do you know what I mean? Like, so for example, if we're straight and we like guys, if guys weren't in the equation, do you know, would we still be insecure?
So for me,
That's
I
a good
would
one.
say a lot of my insecurities, to me, I would off the cuff say, no, it's just because that's how I feel about myself and that's just what I want for myself. But is that just how I've been, sort of trained and grown to
Yeah.
think? Because there is another sex, and in the past, I may have wanted things for the other sex, although now that's not my intention to have it for them, it's to have it for me. But where has it come from? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So things like, why do I want to be so like slim and nice and figure eight? And like, why do I want to like...
Body smoking.
Why...
Figure it.
Why am I so concerned with like blemishes on my face and
Yeah.
my hair being a certain type of way? Like to me, I think I'm doing it for me, but subconsciously, I may not be.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Like usually off the cuff, I'm like, no, like it's for me. But as I kind of think about it more, I kind of just think that like as women especially, we have been conditioned in life to believe that we should value ourselves based on the way that we look. And so like hearing that message all growing up and that we should look a certain way and like that's our value in how we look, then we think like, okay, well, we need to be desired. And if we don't look a certain way that is considered desirable, then that's why we get insecurity, and then that's why we want to fix it, because then we'll feel better about ourselves because then we'll be desirable. So I think like I just kind of found that interesting. What do you think?
It's weird because speaking from a single woman's perspective, now that I'm single, anything I do, I feel genuinely like I'm doing it for me. Do you know what I mean? Just to be the best version of me that I can be. I'm not doing it in order to be desired, because I feel like, especially now, I'm at a point where you're going to like me for what I am. Do you know what I mean? Because I think I spent so much of my past trying to not pretend to be something I'm not, but just like I said, just doing it for the male gaze or doing it for the male attention, that now I'm just fed up of it. Do you know what I mean? And especially like when you do that, you have to upkeep it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I get lazy. So now I just want to be me and the best me that I can be for me. That way, if I am upkeeping it, it's because I want it to be that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like I do get more, oh, I need to be this way when I am with somebody. Do you know what I mean? So when I am seeing somebody or in a relationship, that's when I'll be more like, do you like what I'm wearing? Do you like these trousers? What do you like to see me in? Do you like my hair like this? And I'll be more like that. But when it's just me, I think I'm more free with my ways and how I am.
Yeah.
What about you, Maya? Because you got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I hear both what you're saying. And I definitely, hands down, think it's because of boys. Because all of my insecurities have been because I've assumed that that's what boys want, or that's what boys have commented on.
Yeah.
But they haven't actually necessarily commented on the bad thing, but they've commented on something that they have liked. And that's made me think, okay, I can't, this is good. I've got to keep that going. And I noticed before I was going out with my boyfriend, I had insecurities. And then when I started going out with him, I had different ones. And I was like, oh God, okay, cool. I need to change this up now. And now I'm at a place where I have less so, but that's probably because I feel like I've got the approval because I have a boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I was single, if I'd feel the same way. I'd like to think I would, but being 100% honest, I don't know. And also like, I don't make effort. And I feel like if I was single, I probably would feel like I need to make a bit of effort now. I need to try and catch a new guy.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know.
Really?
At some point, I would potentially, like if I go out now, like partying, it won't kill me if my outfit isn't on point. If I was single, because part of the reason I'm going out is probably to get male attention, it would probably get to me a bit more.
I see.
But that's only how I'm feeling right now. I don't know.
That's it. They say as well, when you're not at you, but when you're in a relationship, you let yourself go. Like when you're in a relationship, you gain some relationship weight, and you know, you might not shave your legs as much anymore, and like the bush down there just is growing out of control because you know what? I've got a man at home that loves me for who I am. So why do I need to change it? And then when they are single, they start shaving their legs more because they need to wear skirts more, dresses more for the male attention, so they can go out more. And it's crazy because I literally feel like I'm the opposite.
The thing is, that's what I'm saying about different insecurities, because my body has got more in shape by being in a relationship. That was what I was just referring to when I said like I've had different insecurities, because obviously his body is so magnificent. I was like, oh my God, if you're going to be seeing me naked.
Yeah, it definitely depends on who you're with.
But then what really helped me was when I spoke to him, and I was like, eventually after like a year in, I admitted like, yeah, I do get a bit self-conscious about my body and whatever. He was like, what? Like, it looks good to me. Like, and I was just like, and the fact that it hadn't even, that wasn't, even when I thought he was looking at me because he's looking at that, he wasn't even looking at that. He was probably looking at like, do you know what I mean, the wall or something. And I was just like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? And it's just that is really special, because if you are at a stage where you do know that an insecurity has been born from a certain situation or a person, if you feel comfortable enough to speak to that person, that can really help. And that's how I know male and female, it's such a thing, like it's such an impact on females with the male, and vice versa probably, but we never feel comfortable enough to actually have that conversation. And if more of us did, we'd realise actually he doesn't mind a bit of bush. He doesn't care if your legs are hairy.
It's true. It definitely depends on who you're with, because I think if you're in a committed, solid relationship that's, you know, going the distance, he's not gonna really care if your vagina's hairy
And
or if you've not shaved your legs.
What it is.
And he will feel comfortable to say if he does feel some type of way about it. Do you know what I mean? But you having armpit hair is not gonna turn him off from wanting to get freaky with you. Do you know what I mean?
Believe that.
Whereas if you're just, dating and seeing different guys, like, I don't know, as and when you go out and stuff, then you're gonna feel self-conscious because this person doesn't know you and he doesn't know your body, and you're gonna want to portray the best version of you for that moment. And then when you're not with them, then you might revert back to, I don't need to do this right now because nobody's seeing it. Whereas with me, if my legs aren't shaved, I feel rough. Like I genuinely don't feel like once I've shaved my legs, I feel like a new me. Once I do my eyebrows, I feel like a new me. So I do it for my own mental health and for my own, satisfaction.
Totally.
And then when I'm in a relationship, I still continue to do it because I always want you to look at me and think, wow, she's great and she's smooth.
Totally. And it's not completely based on the partner because there's certain things like that will still make me feel so good if I do them about myself, like insecurities or whatever, which I know he can't even pick up on. Like if I get my eyebrows done, I've got to be like, do you notice anything different?
Yeah.
Really?
And he'll still be like, hair. And I'll be like,
oh my God.
Literally, but that's something that for me is a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A bit, not as much as like it would affect you, but it does affect me.
Yeah.
After it needs to be done, it will be like, all right, come on, Maya. Do you know what I mean? It's a conversation I've got to have with myself.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely something. And then the other thing I was going to say about that as well is what I said last episode, remember? About how I am never a person to look nice from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to work for it for me to look nice. And that plays into what you're saying about maintenance. Like, I won't start off high because I've got to maintain that. I start off down here and you earn the 1 out of every 10.
Do you find yourself feeling insecure though in the beginning when you're like you just come off your bicycle, you got your helmet on, and then you're like, hi.
To be honest, if I hadn't have come into this relationship so organically and we've been friends where I never even thought it was a thing, I probably would have.
Yeah,
but I
that's
didn't
the
have an
perfect
opportunity.
situation.
I didn't have an opportunity to
It
feel
is.
thing. But that doesn't mean if we were to break up and I was to have to date again, I always think like, how would I be? Like I don't even know how I'd be. I don't even know if I'd be good at dating. I watched In Date now and I fucking love it. And First Dates. And I always think, what would I be like on one of these situations?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
Dating's hard, man.
yeah,
It is
I can
hard.
imagine.
It's true.
What was I going to say? I always feel like sometimes when I'm like out and about and I'm, you just like fling on clothes to just go somewhere quickly. I'm just pop into Tesco or whatever. And then
But I think with you,
someone
even if you
moves
did
to
that,
me in
you'll still
aisle
look
14 and I'm just like, are you seeing what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but-
are you all right? Like, this is your type. This.
If you throw on clothes, I can't imagine it not being as rough as someone else throw on clothes.
Okay, fair. But,
It's true.
but
Still have your eyes done.
okay, maybe. That's just because I've got eyelashes on.
Yeah, but I'm saying you wouldn't look rough.
I'm not about to do my eyebrows to go Tesco.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
you wouldn't look rough. You'd look
Sometimes I
rough.
can look rough.
I can't imagine it. Send me a picture next time.
Maybe. Yeah, but then sometimes when that happens, it's like double-edged. So I'm like, this is what you like for real. And then on the other hand, I'm like, wow, right, if you like me like this,
Yeah, wait till you
till
see
my eyebrows
me
are done.
later.
Like, literally,
Exactly.
wait till I'm wearing matching socks.
Wait till I slap on a bra.
Literally. No, I don't go about, bro.
Oh my God, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
My
'cause she
rough
has
is
boobs.
I've got big boobs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll wear fair enough. I'll wear a sports bra.
There you go. That counts.
Yeah, it counts.
But it's not for keeping them up, it's for cold.
All right. You still get one on, that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, well, I just think that it is probably, as I said in the beginning, like it probably is mostly because of guys. Like with because I just think that like if we're insecure about the way we look, like there's just so much more to us. Like should we even be caring about the way we look? I don't know. Like even for me, like I obviously have insecurities about like everyone. I feel like my lips are so tiny, like they're really tiny. I'm like that white girl on the memes that has like the no top lip.
Listen, if you want to see tiny lips, I've just started watching Love After Lockup, yeah.
Oh
And
my
there's-
God, I'm getting on it tonight.
There's
I'm doing
one
it.
girl on there, and when I seen her, the first thing I said was, "Where's her lips?" If you want to see no lips, go on there and look at her because honestly, and she still wears lip gloss, and you can only see it when she's like yawning or talking, but when she's like still, you literally can't see any lip. It's really atrocious. But yours doesn't look like that, honestly. So it's fine.
There's the benchmark.
Lip liner does me well, but yeah. So sometimes I do think like, oh, you know, I could just get some fillers in my lips or whatever. Like,
But Jade, you've got
so
like a
much
small
better.
head.
But
So if you
it
have
would
big
look
lips,
yeah, just a little bit of like the top lip, but then I
but
think,
then
like,
your
am I
top lip
just
would
doing
literally
this?
be touching your nose.
And it'll be ducky. And I hate
it would
that.
be ducky.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I do
I think your
about
face is
it.
very proportionate.
I would say that.
Aw,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't know.
You're proportionate in general.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, guys. Thanks, guys. But yeah, but sometimes I think like if I'm not like dating or if I'm just like now I'm like single or if I'm just around like my family and stuff, like I'm fine with it. Like I don't care. I don't care about fake tan. I don't care about my hairy legs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about like whatever. I'm just like, it's fine. But then I guess only when I'm getting into dating and stuff and like I guess you want someone to like you and then you're like, oh shit, then your insecurities kind of come out. And that makes me think like, is it because of that? And I guess it probably is. But then that makes me want to not do it because if I know that it's because of that, then I'm like, right.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, don't go all full jungle woman on them, but like if your legs are like a bit prickly,
Yeah.
don't. But sometimes I shave my legs for like to go out, even if I'm wearing trousers, just because it makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, me too. I get that.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, I think that men are the reason that we have these insecurities, but it's reiterated and enforced by women
Yes.
Yes.
because
We play into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and men aren't the ones selling us the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women are like, oh, get this. And
But I did remember when I was younger, I remember like amongst my guy friends, they would always be like, oh, like Angelina Jolie, like, she's so fit, or like, oh, that girl, like, she's so fit. And it'd be like, you know, obviously like big
Putting you
lips, big
down.
bum, like big boobs. And like they don't say anything about, you know, anything bad about me. I just remember thinking
You
like,
interpret
that's,
it as
you
that.
know,
Yeah, that's
what you
your
need to
level
get
of
to,
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
hear
do
that.
see how like from a young age, like it can
The thing
become
is,
like
if
a
you was
thing.
to describe your dream guy, does it look anything like the guy that's talking about
That's
Angelina
what
Jolie?
I'm saying.
No, it
Exactly,
don't.
that's true.
So who is he?
But I feel like
So we're
women
making demands.
are less women are less likely to be like, oh yeah, he's fucking or whatnot in front of men.
Yeah.
Even though we're all like we wouldn't
Yeah.
even think it.
Yeah.
I just still think we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And plus, I feel like a lot of that happens like at a young age, so they probably don't
I
even
feel like the
understand.
male
do you
ego
know
is
what I mean?
more tender than ours, though. That's why. Because
Yeah,
if we said that,
for
they'd
sure.
probably literally
Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
and I think that all stems back. Then again, actually, I don't know. I think that men aren't as self-conscious and stuff. I think they are self-conscious,
No, I
but
think
not
they are.
as.
They just don't say it out loud.
I don't know. I think
I
it
just
just
think
stems from
there's so-
again like women being told from a young age that we are valued by our looks
True.
and men aren't.
And there's more because of that. There's more on it available for us to change things. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like we
yeah,
can put
yeah,
makeup on, we can.
exactly.
But the
It's
boys,
true.
the most they can do is a haircut.
Yeah.
Mm.
And-
Aftershave.
Yeah. And maybe
Dress
like a new
nice.
garm.
Yeah.
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 Like, literally, there's not as much. So therefore, there's no point in them if they say
Yeah.
those things because what can be done?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
I remember when I was about in year 4, and there's a boy I liked called Frankie, and
shout
I
out.
shouldn't have said that. He's not gonna watch it
Hey,
anyway. Yeah, and he looked, and I hadn't had my legs like nothing done. I was only in year 4, maybe
Oh,
year
yeah, come
5.
on.
Like, do you know what I mean? But I was hairy for like in comparison to some of the
Yeah.
other girls, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you need a shave."
Oh, I think you told me this before.
See, it affected me.
What a
that much.
dickhead.
That is really
I
mean.
first shaved in year 5 for my disco.
I begged my mum to let me. She wouldn't let me.
I don't think she let me.
I didn't
I
shave
think
till
she
I was
specifically
well
told
old.
me no, but I did
was
it
14.
anyway. And I cut myself and the blood wouldn't stop. So I was late to the disco.
Oh my god!
Literally, I thought I was going to bleed to death. I literally
my
cut myself
God.
on my shit and I've still got the scar. Just because obviously I didn't know what I was doing. She didn't teach me. She
God.
told me don't do it. And I went and did it.
shit.
So
Did you use water
I was
or
pushing
shaving
to-
foam or anything?
I think I just wet it. I don't think I put soap or shaving foam. I think it was just wet. And I used one of those cheap orange Bics.
Oh
that were
my God,
laying
I know
around.
exactly what you're talking about.
which one you mean.
And
The
I
white
remember
Disposable one.
pushing so hard on the skin. And then obviously the skin on your shin is a bit more thinner.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
gotta
where
be
I cut
careful on the
myself.
bone.
And because it's so thin and flat and it just won't stop bleeding. So I was like half an hour late to my disco because
God.
we couldn't put enough plasters on it to stop the
That
blood.
is heartbreaking.
Oh my god! I remember having to ask my friend to like tell me what to do with razor because like I couldn't. I'm not close with my mum like that, so she would never.
Sisters.
No, I wasn't close. We just don't talk about that stuff in my house. So like, in the end, with my
Imagine
friend,
it.
I was
I
like,
wish I had a big sister. Yeah.
I epilated for mine.
Oh God.
I know.
Oh my
And
God.
my
Forward
mum, she wouldn't let me
thinking, I
shave,
mean-
but she's like, you can epilate because she was like, it's the
it
hair
pulls
growth.
from yeah.
She's like, that's what. She's like, you can wax if you want, but I can't remember why we
See,
didn't do
I
that.
wish my mum was like, I'll take you to go get a
No,
wax.
but I was 14. That's old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wanted
14's
that
a bit old.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted that, but she wouldn't let me. And then I cut my vagine. Not with the affiliator, with a shaver. Because I was getting really
But
conscious
that
of it.
happens to everyone.
I was getting
feel like, at
so
one point.
conscious of it, and obviously no one was seeing it.
Yeah,
But I was getting so conscious, and all the other girls were doing it, and all their
Yeah.
friends, they were telling that.
Well,
Oh my
they
God,
said they
yeah.
were doing it.
Yeah, but I think they were like, oh my God, do you not? Like all of that shit.
Yeah.
And then I got home and I had my friend's mum's voice in my ear being like, oh yeah, it's really important to be close with your daughter. I love being close with her and all this shit. And I was in the shower and I just was going like that. And I just remember being like, and I looked down, bare blood.
Oh God.
That's what I'm saying. The blood just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
This is on vagine and not leg.
Still.
I agree.
It's true.
You
I
can't
even
put a plaster
thought-
on that.
I even thought for a second, is this my period? But obviously it wasn't because different times a month.
Oh,
And I was old as well. I was like 14.
Oh no.
Oh, I hope when I'm young, like when my daughter's quite young, when she starts getting, I hope that we're close enough that I can be like, let me tell you what to
Oh,
do.
yeah, for sure,
I
for
think
sure.
I'll let my daughter start shaving from about 10.
No. How
I think
is
when she gets to
everything
like
we've
year
just said, it's
7,
just
year
been
8,
lost?
primary school, they don't need it.
If she's not
year
hairy.
7's 11.
If she's not
Is it?
hairy, Kadisha.
Year 7's 11.
Oh.
So 10. If she's not hairy, why would I let her shave?
Were you hairy at the time?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm still am.
I don't remember.
I
I, think
can't
I was so
imagine.
oblivious to it.
I'm
Just like going around with hair.
yeah, I've always been really hairy. And the problem with me is that my hairs don't grow dark. They grow long. So
Right. Long and
it's
thin.
problematic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When my leg hairs are fully grown, I promise you could braid them. It's not
She
pleasant.
always says
It's
this.
not pleasant. That's why I have to do it for me. Because it's not nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Who's next?
You go next.
Okay, I'll go next. Right. So my pick of this week is, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Brilliant.
Oh, I was thinking about this because I've watched Aladdin, and you know, like the one with Will Smith, and like he's always like 3 wishes. What would they be? What would they be? But you can't ask for another wish. I
Yeah.
was like, you can't ask for unlimited wishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God,
I think
right, you
about
go
this often.
first. You go first. You know,
Why?
because I need time to think. I
I'll
was
go
thinking
first.
of it a
Go
bit.
Right, okay, so wish number 1, I would wish to be able to walk in heels, any type of shoe, without any type of pain for any length of time.
Right.
Yeah, so that includes heels, just uncomfortable trainers, or just, because you know, sometimes you've got to wear a shoe for a bit and then break it in before it's comfortable. I don't want to have
And
go
you
through that period.
Go to the event carrying the shoe and then all of that.
like anytime I go out, I'm guaranteed to have flats with me. I'm tired of that life. Obviously, these 3 wishes aren't real, but if they are, this would be number 1. And then my second wish.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And wicked.
Thank you very much. Magic cut water bottle. My second wish would be that all online transactions, the money is just there.
Why don't we just ask for all the money in the world, or like unlimited money?
Because you're not allowed to ask for that usually.
Really? Oh,
You
Yeah.
didn't give us constraints. Of
yeah. What's the
the
constraints?
wishes.
Okay, so you're not allowed to ask for another wish.
Right.
You can't have all the money in the world because there'll be no money for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can't bring back the dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. You can't have all of everything because nobody else will have it.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, fine.
So, and you can't bring back the dead.
Okay.
Those 3. Yeah, so my second wish would be that any online purchase that I make is covered. Like I can just buy anything online.
Oh, that's smart because that's basically asking for anything because you can buy anything.
I thought about it.
You just look like the boy in that thing, that the roll safe boy.
Oh yeah, shout out him. So yeah, that's for that. My third wish I think would be that I haven't thought of the third one. You guys go.
I think I have a
I
good
just know
one,
those
you
2.
Okay, one of mine would be I'd win the lottery.
Okay.
Right.
Smart again, because money, you know.
Mm.
Second one would
That can
be,
run out though.
yeah, that's fine. With it, I'll do good shit. I don't actually want unlimited money, but I just
Yeah.
want enough to
Yeah.
start. Do you know what I mean? Second one will be I can choose if a food is going to give me the calories from the food.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Oh,
That is smart.
That is good.
Why would you choose yes?
Because if I was like actually wanted to start putting on weight.
Yeah,
Okay,
I need that. And it's like healthy calories, so I could just be eating Oreos, but it's like healthy calories, like
No, it's
healthy
not.
gain weight.
Oreos are not healthy.
Yeah, but
Jane.
like imagine like that's
If
what
you
you
can
could do if you
choose,
could
yeah.
do the wish.
'Cause
Oh, okay.
if you chose like all your vegetables and all that shit of the day was all no calories, and then you just really fancy some Oreos, you could just pick out an Oreos for the next day because you've made up. Do you know what I mean?
I see,
Haven't
yeah.
thought of the science behind it yet,
Yeah.
but there you go.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, there's 2 for now. You do another one.
Okay.
Yeah, so mine would actually be I wish that I was extraordinarily lucky. That way, if I applied for a job, I get it. If I wanted to
Like,
start with
just my
business, it
luck.
would be fine. Like everything would just be so lucky. I applied for the lottery, like I won. I would like wanted like
How do you
this car. All of a
quantify
sudden, this
that?
car's on
Yeah, it's
sale.
true.
Like,
How do you quantify
does
that?
it have to be
though?
quantifiable?
Yes.
Well, yeah. How's
Have you
it
not
gonna
heard
get
the
done?
rules?
I
Jesus.
didn't have one. Damn it. Well, that kind of burst my
It does.
bubble then,
No, it
but-
does sound like a good wish.
You just have to think a bit better
Right.
about how you deliver it, because luck, they could take the piss out of you. Do you know what I mean? They could be like,
Yeah.
you're lucky you didn't fall over today.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, them ones.
Yeah.
They is obviously the
You're
power
lucky
of
you
the
have a
wishes.
roof over your head.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
please don't give me that.
Yeah.
Lucky you got food to eat. Oh,
Yeah.
pissed off.
Even though it's chickpeas.
And then I guess I would wish that like everyone I love or like could have would never struggle, that like they would have enough to like that they wouldn't have to worry. So it's not like all the money in the world, but like they just wouldn't have to like stress out about it.
Yeah, but that's not
Yeah.
quantifiable.
But I guess that can be quantifiable. Like I don't know, living in London, how much do we need? Like I don't know, if they had like 40,000-50,000 pound salary.
So you wished for them to have 40, 55, 40.
Yeah, and then they can go from there and they wouldn't have to struggle
Okay.
then, I
Alright.
You
guess.
have to be more specific
I
with your
know,
wishes.
Jay.
Shit, man, this is
jeez.
tricky. It's
Okay.
wrong.
Gosh,
I would
this
say-
genie's going to be unhappy.
I would say...
For your last one.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
last one would be anyone I love could get a cure for whatever they have.
Okay.
Fix climate change. I mean, I fix like the
Good.
shit in the
I'm glad
atmosphere.
you wish for that because I'm not wishing for that.
Yeah, literally.
Because
Because the thing is, I believe if I had bare pee,
Mm.
I could start shit up and then I could start doing things to give back.
Yeah, me too. I did think of that as well, but then I thought we run out of time for that for the climate, so just do that one real quick and then start.
enough,
And then with
fair
my
enough.
luck, I could set up mad charities that would like help everyone. And I don't know.
True.
None of us said limitless, like the pill.
Limitless.
What's that?
You know the pill
You could
in
just-
Limitless, where you can literally just do anything.
I
I
don't
don't
know if
know.
I'd want that.
I would love that.
What's
It's a
that?
bit too much pressure. Everybody would demand too much
basically,
from me.
we only use X% of our brain.
Oh.
This
30.
pill opens up all of it.
Yeah, I don't
know if I
know.
wish that. Everyone would just want too much because
Yeah.
you just
You don't
quickly
have to tell anyone.
pop to
You
Brazil.
just be thinking all the time, non-stop, genius ideas. And you just can't
It might
stop.
be a
And
bit
like,
overwhelming.
it would be so overwhelming.
I think if you knew it was coming, you could make provision for that. You could have a team
Maybe.
ready and be like, look, you're going to be handling this, you're going to be handling this, and da, 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 da. Each of
Yeah.
you every day ask me these leading questions.
maybe
about
I'd
X,
want
Y,
a
Z.
bit more, but not like as
The
much
max.
as like she had in Limitless. Like maybe just like a bit more.
You just want 35%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be enough.
Yeah,
Honestly.
literally.
Yeah.
We're already doing brilliant things.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
We've got AirPods for fuck's sake.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I think for my last one, I would wish that I don't go above a certain weight because who can be asked to go gym? Not me. So I'd wish that I just stayed a certain shape and stayed a certain weight, no matter like what I ate. Even if I got pregnant afterwards, the bounce back would be quick. I would just always stay that way. That would be a great wish
Fair
because
enough.
I just look good in everything.
Similar to mine, but mine's better because you can eat whatever you want. And
Yeah,
that's
so could
awesome.
I.
True. Fair enough. But what if you get bored of that shape? What if like
Yeah.
you go for a phase where you're like, actually, I want to, I don't know, be proper skinny, or I want to be.
I
Yeah.
doubt I'll ever.
Okay, fair
That
enough.
happened in the
That
90s,
thing
isn't it? That was the thing. And
The
then
thing is
changed.
that one, it gives a lot of what.
Yeah,
if.
but the thing is, my shape that I desire is not Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
So I don't think the shape that I desire will ever go out of.
Yeah.
Because it's basically how I look now, just without the love handles and without the gut. So, yeah, I think it will be fine.
I think your one about the shopping, like being able to spend stuff and like you're
Sick,
not,
isn't it?
that's a good one.
Literally.
I would
'Cause
do that
Lottery.
one.
literally, you could
Yeah,
do
but-
everything. Like I would set up businesses online.
Yeah.
I would
All your
do
direct
my,
debits.
do my food shopping. I do unlimited clothes shopping. I buy a house,
Clothes shopping.
buy flights.
Can you buy a house online?
Yeah.
How?
Zoopla, online transactions. You send money online. Everything's done online. I pay for studio. I would, I'd buy a studio.
Yeah.
I'd hire Brent still though. You can even buy your holiday travel money
Buy
online.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy cars. I
can
would,
buy Bitcoin.
Holidays.
You can buy Bitcoin. You can buy everything online
That's
nowadays.
so cool. How long did it
literally.
take you to think of that?
It just came to me one day. Yeah.
My
That's
calorie
smart.
one's
That's a
good.
one. Yeah, I
calorie
like that one
one's
as
good.
well. And my lucky one was good, I'm going to say. So we each
Yeah,
have one.
the
that we
lucky
do.
one's good. The lucky
It
one's
just
good.
needs to be a bit more quantifiable.
Yeah,
it does.
I'll get to that.
A bit
Give
more
me some time.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Alright.
heels one.
Maybe
is number
you
one.
got to say something like, I need luck. Do you know what I mean? And then it comes into play.
Yeah.
Because they can't just think it. They just use it on the wrong things.
Yeah.
If you're going
Yeah.
into the bookies, I need luck. If
Oh,
I'm,
right,
do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I need
yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
Blind date, I need luck.
Yeah.
Every time I wish that every time I say I need luck, then I'm lucky.
Exactly.
That
All right,
makes
there
more
we
sense.
go.
Quantifying.
Got there in the end. That was fun. Okay,
That's
you
a good
go.
one. Yeah, what was yours? Well,
And what would your 3 wishes be? Tell us.
Yeah, tell us. Let's do it. We'll do a question thing on Instagram.
Okay. My one is, I was watching, have you heard of Dre London? Do you know who that is?
Dre London.
Yeah.
No.
He's the manager of Post Malone.
okay.
And he has this whole story about how he grew up in Brixton, moved from London to New York, got kicked out of school, blah, 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 blah. And he's basically made it.
Sick.
Yeah, he's done really, really well and he's set up loads of stuff and he's the manager of Post Malone. He had a lot to do with French Montana's career and he's just obviously doing big things. He's just patterned. Anyway, I was watching a bit of his interview because my boyfriend showed me and it was actually really good. I'll send you the link. I don't know. It was like one of them like a company.
Okay.
But it was just him talking to the camera the whole time, obviously being asked questions in the background.
I get you, yeah.
And he said that there was a time where his teacher, he had
Wait, is this Post Malone or his manager?
this guy, Dre London.
Okay, yeah.
He had to do all his work for his GCSEs, like all his coursework, everything. And he was doing it all a whole week. It had to be handed in on the Monday. And by Friday, he was still like pulling everything together. He'd done all the work for it, blah, 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 blah. He'd basically finished it. He needed to do like 2 things when he got home and he was done. And then on Friday, they sent a letter when he got home saying, don't come back to school, you're expelled.
Oh.
And he remembered the teacher's name and he was like, that was the moment that taught me so much and motivated me so much because I've fucking worked my whole ass off all this time and I'm expelled. So there's not even any point in me doing that. I can't remember, like, I don't know, being bad of some sort. And then the other moment was he'd moved to New York. He had 100 grand with him when he moved there. In 4 years, obviously that had dwindled because he was trying to make it in the music scene and blah, blah, blah. He was sleeping on his friend's couch and everyone was like, are you dumb? Like, you've got houses. That's how you even went to New York. Like, you've got houses in London. Your pattern, like, come back home. Why are you sleeping on someone's couch? And then he said that conversation, that person who had that conversation with him, who obviously rates him now, as everyone does, they probably don't even remember that they had that conversation with him. But he remembers it and it remembers how it makes him feel, and it was like that moment when he got kicked out of school and that moment were his biggest motivations to keep him going. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you have any similar?
I heard a quote the other day at Facebook and
it's actually sad that she's doing this.
And they said, I can't remember who the quote is from, but it basically said, you don't always remember people, but you remember how they made you feel.
Yeah.
Which is true because, and you don't always remember conversations, but you remember how that conversation made you feel. And that's how you make lasting impressions on people.
That's how they remember you.
Yeah, how you made them feel, literally. And that's how you judge who you want around you and who you don't want around you and who, you can go to for certain things because that's how that person's going to make you feel. Sometimes they say like people feel like home. Like those are the people that you tend to keep closest to you because they make you feel comfortable, safe, happy, encouraged, all of the above. So yeah, what did you want? What you were asking, like if I had an experience
was there a moment that you can describe in that much detail? You can know what the weather was outside, you can remember what you're wearing, all that kind of stuff, and someone said something to you or there was a situation you were going through and it was like heart-wrenching,
the time phrase,
but it was actually the biggest motivation if you look back now and whatever. I can imagine Bear for you moving out at 16.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
So moving out, definitely, like I remember the day I moved out like it was yesterday. There's a few moments that have like frozen time for me that I will just never forget. All of them I can't mention on the pod, but moving out was a big one. Yeah. I don't know if I want to go into detail about it, but I just remember like obviously I used to argue with my mum a lot and she would always say, like as any parent would say, if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
And to me that's not like a threat, like I will go. So I just remember like I did it all behind her back. I like spoke to my godmother, told her that I was going to be moving out, and I was at college at the time. And in Leicester, I don't know if it was everywhere, we had this thing called Connections, which is basically like a centre where you could like go in the type of your CV, you could look for jobs. They would help you. They would help you with like housing situations if you needed it. They would help you just to not be on the streets and just help you better your life in any which way and give you guidance and advice. But it's for teenagers. I think it was from like for 15 to 21 or something like that. So we had one of those that came to our college every week or something. And I just remember going to speak to them like, I need to move out my house. I need to leave now. And then I remember sitting in the office at college talking through my options. And then she was like, so you can move into a hostel. We've got this hostel here. You can go there if you want. And they're talking me through it. And I'm like, how am I going to afford to pay for it? Blah, blah. When you're 16, you move out, you get a lot of help from, well, you did at that time. This was 2011.
Yeah.
So the government gave you a lot of help. Like you got support, you got like benefits and stuff, and they would cover your rent and stuff. But I still got a job. I ended up leaving that college shortly after I moved out. But I just remember the moment I told my mum I'm moving out, and she was like,
God, that's
what?
a big moment.
And I was like, yeah, you told me to leave. Like you literally been telling me every day for the last week. And she was like, yeah, but. I was like, yeah, but. And I was like, so anyway, my ride's outside. Like I'd packed up while she was at work. I was like, yeah, my ride's outside. I'm leaving. And she was in her bedroom, in her bed. And I don't think she believed me. And I was like, I'm really going for real. And then like, just that moment of me like actually leaving and it all just became real was like the moment when I was like, when I knew to myself that when I left this house, I can't come back. Like I have to make something of myself. I have to like be the best me that I can be. I have to become a success, and I cannot prove her right. Like, do you know what I mean? I cannot come back with my tail between my legs, and I cannot say sorry in this situation and say sorry I left and please take me back. And I knew that I had to make it and just do well at whatever I did, and then change her opinion of me and change her mind of me and make her become like proud and just say, I'm glad she moved out. I'm glad she took those steps. And it's crazy because literally like 3 weeks ago, I actually had that conversation with my mum, and she actually said the words like, I'm so proud of you, which I've never heard before. And normally she says like, oh yeah, well done, like along the way, but she's never said like, I'm proud of you. Do you know what I mean? So it was so nice to hear. We had a little moment, and I mean, it took 9 years, but you know, that moment came, and it just makes like me moving out was definitely for the best. Do you know what I mean? At that time, it helped our relationship. It helped me find myself. It helped me know who I am as a person. It helped me find the friends that I have now. And if it wasn't for all of that, I probably wouldn't be sat here recording this podcast now. So that was a real turning point for me. I've got plenty of others, but that one just sticks out.
I don't have any in comparison.
Not to be deep. That's not deep at all. I'm cool.
These
honestly.
Stories. Oh my God. I don't know.
My one was, and so I've got two that stick out. The first one, I hadn't really knuckled down, but in my head, I thought I'd worked really, really hard, and I'd done fucking hard subjects that I needed ratings from everyone. I was like, look what I'm doing. It's fucking hard. And then I went to results day and I'd done so badly, and I was crying my eyes out. Like I couldn't hold it back. I was like, I couldn't believe. I thought they'd made a mistake. There's no way with what I was doing that could be. How could that be the case? I just couldn't understand it. I'd done so badly, and I was so upset. And then she was like, "Look, this is my head of year, Miss Pearson. Look, if you found it hard, maybe uni's not for you. And if uni's not for you, maybe A-levels aren't for you.
Oh, God.
And if A-levels aren't for you, do you want to go and look at a college maybe? Maybe do like another course like that? I don't know. Like that, and I was like, it was literally like stabbed to my heart.
Oh, no.
I couldn't even. And then that moment, I was like, I have to fucking work twice as hard and show this bitch I can do it. Yeah. And I did well in my A-levels, and then I didn't go to university. But I felt like I didn't go because I had the choice.
Yes.
But
not because you couldn't.
But had she not have had that conversation with me, I may have gone to university.
Yeah.
But because she said, is it for you? It made me question. And for so long, I thought that was a negative. And I thought that was like, I went because I didn't want to go and fail. Do you know what I mean? But now I realise I'm actually better suited in other environments. So even though I fucking hated what you said, you were right. It's not for me. It wasn't for me. And the other moment,
I feel like she could have just said like, "There's other pathways." Like she could have said it in a not
the way she
negative way.
said it.
She said
it
it in such a patronising, all right, darling. Fucking, I could have boxed her. It was so bad. But the worst one, like more motivating than that, was when I started obviously becoming a personal trainer, and I had to wake up at like fucking horrible times, like 5 a.m. and shit, because we lived far and I was working in Angel. And one day I was leaving the house early and my dad was up for some reason and he's like, I'll drop you to the station. And I was like, oh, okay, fucking hell, all right. And I've been, the whole time I've been trying to speak to him because I was quite close to my dad and I was trying to be like, I'm going to be doing, I know I'm not going to uni, I know that's bad, but I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that. And, and he was just not having any of it before then. And then I remember like he started, as soon as he got in the car, I knew it was coming, but I'd expected like, okay, for at least 5 minutes, he's going to chat shit, but it's cool. I'll bring him around. For the whole time he started, he was like, is this what you want to be doing? Really? Like we moved from East London, we've gone to Barnet, you've gone and done these A-levels. I knew the A-levels were going to be up, but you've done them, you got some grades, do you know what I mean? You could go to uni, it's not hard. All your friends are going, half of them aren't even as smart as you. Like you can do it. Just do a shit degree, it doesn't matter. Just do sociology or something. Just do it. I don't care. Literally on and on. And then we went past the station and I was like, wait. He's like, I'm gonna take you all the way. And I was like, oh fuck. The whole time. And as we're going, because in his head that was being nice and he was trying to gas me as he's going. And then because I was still like, no, but I'm gonna, and then he started getting raw and he was just like, listen, you just have no idea. You just got no idea about life. I know you think you know, but you don't know. You don't know anything. And he was just pulling me. And then he was just like, it's what you're gonna be doing. What are you gonna do then when you get there? And I was like, because I'm new, I've got to like make myself known around there. He's like, so you're basically gonna act like a cleaner. You're being a cleaner. And I was like, no, not really. But and then like every little thing, it was just so peak. And then eventually he was like, this is just, I just can't. I just feel like, what are you playing at? Like literally on and on. But to the point where I got out the door and I remember it was fucking cold and like there'd been a bit of daylight by that point. And we'd got to Angel and opened the door. And I just remember like looking at him looking at me like, fucking disappointment. And me being like, I'm going to show you that I'm not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my moment. And that was the first thing that I thought of when I heard that guy say the thing. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, there you go.
That is tough. So, I mean, I've had moments in my life where like teachers were like horrible to me and told me like I'm dumb or whatever, or like stuff like where my parents didn't believe in me or whatever, but nothing I feel like
that's like motivating you to go to China, like that's a biggie.
I don't know if it was like a life-changing moment. I don't know. I feel like, because for me, it's been like loads of little things that have like changed me. And I feel like if anything, like now, like I didn't get to go to uni and my parents weren't willing to like pay for me and stuff like that. So like a path that I thought I was going to take, now I'm having to reconsider what the fuck I'm doing. And I just don't know what I'm doing at the minute. Like I'm applying for jobs, but then I don't know whether to go to uni and I don't know whether to do this and that. And so I feel like maybe like I know like in the moment I'm kind of like stressed and like upset, but I feel like when I've sorted it out, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So I do think that in the end, I might have been like, I don't know, like I could have been upset about like my parents not wanting to support me in like financially for the course, but I feel like in the end I'm sure that will lead me down, and now I've gone down a different path, like my path has changed, and in the end I'll look back and be like, okay, like
this
that
makes sense. I get why that happened.
But I don't know if I've had one.
You don't have to have had one, because I watched it with my boyfriend and I was like, first thing I said was, what was yours? And he was like, I don't think I've had that yet. Do you know what I mean? He thinks like he's
true,
still,
it might not have come yet.
Exactly. But I feel like when it happens young, it definitely shapes you. Like it makes you, your whole shit changes, because you feel like you can't afford to think in that way. Do you know what I mean? You're like, okay, everything I do now is happening for this reason and that's it. And all my friends who have had situations like that, I feel like you can so see it in who they are, how they are, like how their attitude towards things. Yeah. And I just think that it's like, I can just tell of a person. Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
I do remember being young, and like when I was young, I guess I was so like, for a while I was like really, really nice, like, too nice, where like people take the piss and just walk all over you. And then I became like a really horrible person, and I was getting in fights with everyone and everything. And then I remember just being so consumed with all these fights, all these different people, and like back in people's beef that weren't even involved. Like I was fighting for them and they weren't even in it. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like so.
She was
like
mad.
Really.
You wouldn't think it, but she actually would. You'd hear about it. You'd be like, oh, did you hear what Jade did? And I'd be like, Jade, what? And she wasn't even in my school. She's a different school. And everyone would be like, how is she in beef with her when she lives there? Honestly, she was.
It's so hilarious.
And boys would be like, oh my God, you know that Jade girl? Do you know
No.
I promise you, I swear.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's just so funny
be a
looking
fly on
back.
the wall.
Boy.
But
I was like, that's my friend.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she's cool.
I remember just thinking, like, this is exhausting. Like, this is exhausting. Like, keeping up arguments with everyone. Like, I have to be careful where I go. I have to be careful, like, who's around. Like, if I'm getting on this bus, like, who's going to be on there? Like, I couldn't go Finchley. Like literally was my area where I was like, I can't go Finchley because like it was really
what
bad
is the
there.
blue story?
And like and I just remember thinking like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't need to like
But
be
was
in these
there
arguments.
like a particular argument that triggered that
yeah,
emotion?
definitely. Like there was like my best friend, and like she was like someone was being horrible to her, and I literally she was like saying something like on Facebook, who did a status about like my friend and my friend had told me that there's this girl, like I don't know how she got in an argument with her or whatever, but she was saying I'm really scared of her, like I'm really scared of her, and like the fact that she was scared of her, I was like, okay,
I'm gonna protect you.
Like like I got this. You don't
Don't
need
worry.
to worry. Like I'll do
here.
it. Like you don't need to get involved. Like don't worry. Like
God.
and so I went on the status and like I was like, why do you have to be such a bitch? Like why are you literally on Facebook like having a go at her? Like you don't even know her like that. Like why is this your energy? And then she
Where
got
was you
all
when I
her
was in my
friends
beefs?
involved. And like she got everyone involved. And then like one time I was going through Finchley and like she got someone with like this baseball bat like to come over to me and like
threaten you, basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
you've lived a
And
life,
like
innit?
and like
don't know about
just-
dating you. Don't know about
Wow.
But yeah, it was just specifically with this girl, and like times where like I'd be in Finchley, we'd be shouting at each other, and I'd be like ready to like have a fight. Like I would imagine, like right, like if we fight, like I'm ready. I know, like I would be prepared.
I think it's because she's small. She had a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah. Have you got short man syndrome?
I think it was because I was nice, because I was so nice and people had taken the piss out of that. I felt like I went to the other extreme.
I need to
and
show
I was like,
you.
I need to like,
Yeah,
you're gonna take the piss at me, like don't.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, and so it was that, and then I realized that the girl, like the girl that I was like backing, she was like chatting shit about me behind my back. She wasn't even getting involved. And people like slaughtering me on this Facebook chat, like go kill yourself, do like the horrible stuff. Even like people that I thought were friends with me had joined in with her because
it's not nice.
it's horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so people can be very nasty and very vicious, especially when you're like children. Like when you back in the days, people would just say some horrible stuff. Like it's out of control, really.
But yeah, and then I realised I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And I was just like, screw this, man. I'm not getting involved. I'm just gonna live a quiet life.
I can literally imagine Jade on like Beyond Scared Straight now. You know, when they take the bad kids to prison for a day.
Oh my God.
I have this memory of her, literally hair long. I think you had a crop top on or something.
Oh God.
And you get on a bus and she was like, and I was like, fuck.
No.
Literally. And everyone was just looking like, is it on? And she was just like,
Oh God.
my
I don't even remember because that was
God.
probably something that was going on all the time.
That's crazy.
Oh God, it's so embarrassing. But
Wow.
anyways, look how we've grown.
Literally, look how we've
right, I think we
grown.
need to round up before this gets heated and we get some more ops. All right.
Oh God.
Right, it's been so lovely just us three again.
Yeah, it was
been
nice.
nice.
It was nice.
Even
And
like
these are
hearing
very
their
interesting
stories.
picks as well.
We can make it
If we tried, just the three of us. You, Jade, and I. That was smooth.
Thank you.
I don't know the words.
Okay.
Keep singing along.
Right, okay, shout outs.
Yes.
Oh shit, yeah.
Right, I will go first. My shout out this week is Wretch 32's album, Upon Reflection. I've been listening to it on repeat. It's a very, very, very good piece of work. And my favourite song on there is Spin Around.
Oh, spin around, spin
Oh,
around.
yes,
I like that
Jade.
one. I love that one.
Okay.
Yes,
I listen to, you know, when you listen to a song so many times,
Literally.
like just on repeat, and then
Yeah.
eventually you're like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
done with this one now.
Spin Around and Last Night are my favourite songs. So Wretch 32, Upon Reflection, check it out.
All right, I'll go next. My shout out is Joe Rogan podcast, the one with Bob Lazar. He's like, if you're interested about like aliens and Area 51
Again?
and all of that. Did I do that already?
You just always talk about aliens.
And you also got Joe Rogan
you
podcast.
guys, because this after I watched it, I was like,
Oh, God.
Is it a video? Is it a video?
you can watch. So basically, they have it on Netflix, but apparently, like the one on Netflix makes it seem when you're like, "Dun-dun-dun," like, you know what I mean, like really
Sci-fi,
like
yeah.
like dumb. But if you actually watch it on YouTube, it is like 2 hours long.
Oh
But it's
my
like
God.
interview with this guy. It is really good. He worked at Area 51. He's like an engineer. And basically, he's kind of like, he obviously he's not meant to have like spoken about what happened there,
He's
but
whistleblowing.
yeah, basically. And yeah, he talks about everything that he saw there and like what went on and like why he like got fired and whatever and why he's come out to talk about this basically and why he even like said anything about it all. And it's really, really good. And I feel like if like, you know, we just need like, I kind of believe in aliens, but it's like, when
the proof you
I
needed.
needed a little bit of proof, just something, then that kind of made me think like, you know what? I kind of believe it now. I'm just going to say I believe it. I believe it.
Next.
Anyways, watch it.
Okay, I would like to shout out the season 5 of How to Get Away with Murder. You need to get
I
on
watched it.
Are
I'm
you
like halfway
joking?
through.
Are you joking?
I'm
We're gonna
halfway
talk. Literally, I was ill, so I was in my yard, not moving, and it made it easy because it was just next, and I was like,
good.
have you watched it?
No.
I was telling her.
And I know
watch
that
it.
I've been at home ill, but I have my cousin staying with me and her son. So I'm not going to be able to concentrate.
And plus, you're on so much medication.
If I, and that as
And
well,
you need
I'm
to
on
watch
so much
this, like, take it
medication.
in, yeah.
I was saying to Jade that by 5 p.m. I literally have dropsies, so I can't concentrate on something. That's why I've been watching Love After Lockup because it's so stupid that I could literally drop sleep.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
The same foolishness is happening.
I'm gonna watch it.
Also watch 90 Day Fiance.
I know I want to get that, but
Yeah.
Love After Lockup is definitely en route.
Yeah.
Where'd you
As
watch
is
that?
Watchmen. I'm gonna do it all illegally.
Yeah.
Now with my
Right, I'm
laptop,
on
I've
that.
been living wildly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening.
Keep subscribing.
Keep subscribing.
Keep watching. Keep following.
Yeah,
all of that.
Keep sharing and keep sending us your requests of like things you want us to talk about, things you want us to discuss, anything, topics that you want to raise, and
Tell us your 3 wishes and motivating moments, and we'll share them.
yeah. All right. Have a great week.
Thank you for
And
listening,
we'll see you next
guys.
week.
Bye.